What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. As Thomas gives Brooke a chilling warning, Ridge breaks Taylor's heart. The Bold and the Beautiful, Thomas presses his point with Eric, Katie gets suspicious, and Taylor wants to wed tomorrow. In the Forrester guest house, Taylor goes on about picking a wedding date as Ridge stares at her. Taylor, like everyone else, is sure she knows what's best for his future. Taylor makes sure to mention their late daughter Phoebe as she talks about showing Thomas and Steffi that their family is finally back together. Thomas increases the tension in the design office at Forrester. Brooke and Katie are still stressing out over Ridge being with Taylor. Thomas hugs his grandfather as he greets him across the hall. The younger Forrester gets right to the heart of the matter when he says that he is there to watch his parents wed. Thomas goes on about his parents finally getting married, warning he won't let anyone, or anything, derail it. Eric points out he has his own life to worry about. The same could be said for him. Thomas relays that his engagement has ended. It's why he needs his family. Across the hall, Katie crabs about Thomas showing up when Taylor's trying to set a date for her wedding. The brunette asserts that surely this is suspicious while speaking as though the psychiatrist is engaged in some covert activity. Brooke narrows her eyes appropriately and Katie worries that Thomas will manipulate the situation. Brooke feels for Ridge's son and wants him to be happy. Katie sniffs, as long as he doesn't pressure Ridge into marrying Taylor. You know, his fiancée. In the main office, Eric is sure to talk up Taylor's accomplishments before the debate begins about Brooke. Thomas knows his grandfather is Team Brooke, but he must see the stability and peace Taylor brings his dad. Tell me you that you will support their marriage with me, Granddad. Eric cagily tells Thomas that Ridge knows he only wants his happiness. Thomas maintains that once they reunite as husband and wife, he and Taylor will be content. Over yonder, Brooke informs Katie that nothing can change what happened in Italy. She trusts him because he said he would make things right. Brooke said he just has to end his engagement to Taylor. When Thomas comes in, he tells everyone that his parents are now together and are choosing a date for their wedding. He anticipates Brooke recognizing this and letting go. Don't do anything to come between them ever again, he warns as chilling music plays. Thomas B&B. Is Taylor going to get married? Still in the guest house, Taylor's moved on to St. Thomas and all of her and Ridge's milestones. Their love always brought them back together and Stephanie was their fiercest supporter. Not wanting to leave any stone unturned, Taylor mentions her broken heart syndrome as well. Ridge will come across as a complete fool if he cancels this wedding now. Forging ahead enthusiastically, Taylor suggests they clear their calendars and get married tomorrow. As Ridge tells her he'll always love her no matter what, Taylor's favorite song comes on and she pulls him into a slow dance. As he holds Doc, Eric's warning about selecting Brooke reverberates in his mind. Taylor observes something and inquires, "What is it?" Ridge launches into a speech about how much he loves her. He can't stand the thought of breaking her heart again, but that's exactly what he does when he says, "I can't do this. I can't marry you." In the Forrester guest house, Taylor Hayes sat opposite Ridge, her eyes radiating conviction as she articulated their future with a blend of sentimentality and resolve, intertwining memories of their deceased daughter Phoebe into her assertion that their family was finally complete again, and that a wedding would serve as the ultimate emblem of stability for Thomas and Steffi. Meanwhile, Ridge remained silent, conflicted, gazing at her as if she possessed the answers he could not articulate, yet feeling the burden of others dictating what his future ought to be. Across the hall in the design office, Brooke and Katie were anxious, the discussion revolving around the same exhausting cycle of fear and doubt. Katie scoffed at Thomas's conveniently timed return while Taylor was setting a wedding date, her tone laced with skepticism as if Taylor were orchestrating a covert scheme. Brooke's expression tightened with concern, her empathy for Thomas clashing with her apprehension that his influence might be used to coerce Ridge into a marriage he did not genuinely desire. As Katie remarked that Ridge's son better not pressure him into becoming Taylor's husband, Thomas was asserting his presence, warmly greeting Eric in the corridor with a hug before promptly introducing his agenda into the conversation. He bluntly declared that he was back to see his parents finally wed, making it chillingly evident that he would not permit anyone or anything to derail the plan. His words served as both a warning and a declaration. Although Eric tried to gently remind him that every man had his own life and choices to consider, Thomas countered with a vulnerable yet manipulative revelation that his own engagement had fallen apart, leaving him clinging to the notion of his parents' marriage as a lifeline, a necessity that Eric could not entirely dismiss but also could not fully endorse. When Thomas urged his grandfather to pledge support for Taylor, Eric responded evasively, stating that his priority was Ridge's happiness, skillfully avoiding the request. Meanwhile, Thomas remained adamant, asserting that once Taylor and Ridge were reunited as husband and wife, tranquility and satisfaction would be restored. In contrast, Brooke confided in Katie, expressing that nothing could erase the events that transpired in Italy. She held on to Ridge's promise to rectify the situation, her hope tightly bound to his commitment to end his relationship with Taylor. However, that hope faced a challenge when Thomas entered the room, his tone sharp and his demeanor rigid as he declared that his parents were selecting a wedding date. His gaze fixed on Brooke with a chilling intensity as he cautioned her to accept this reality and refrain from any further interference. The ominous atmosphere heightened the threat in his voice, serving as a stark reminder of the lengths Thomas would go to protect what he perceived as his family's fate. Meanwhile, at the guesthouse, Taylor continued to build her argument, reminiscing about St. Thomas and the significant moments of her life with Ridge. She recalled the unwavering support they once received from Stephanie and even referenced her own broken heart syndrome as evidence that Ridge had the ability to either complete her or break her once more. As she spoke with an almost frantic enthusiasm, she urged Ridge to do more than merely select a date. Why not clear their schedules and marry tomorrow? Her voice was laced with both desperation and joy, convinced that love would triumph over all obstacles. As their favorite melody floated through the atmosphere, she embraced Ridge for a slow dance, her cheek resting against his chest while he moved with her, his heart laid bare, Eric's harsh remarks about Brooke reverberating incessantly in his thoughts, reminding him of the vows he had taken and the reality of his feelings. When Taylor raised her eyes to him and gently inquired about his distress, Ridge cradled her face and began a heartfelt discourse, expressing how profoundly he cherished her, how he could never cease to care, and how the mere idea of causing her pain again was intolerable. Yet as tears brimmed in his eyes, the truth surged forth, cutting through the moment with heartbreaking clarity as he admitted, "I can't do this. I can't marry you," his voice trembling with remorse, shattering Taylor's dreams in an instant, leaving her heartbroken in his embrace while the fate of their family and Ridge's heart hung in painful ambiguity.